Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a new course on this channel. In this course we are going to start with the script called Alwissam, and it's quite a recently invented one. The guy who invented it is still alive. I will put a link to his Instagram account in the description. Now it's a relatively easy script, and it's fun to work with. Also it's quite similar to styles that they use in calligraphy, so you could use it in Tarakib. It's a really pretty one. For a start, we are going to begin with something important, which is the dots. Now we take a 60 degrees and we put the pen according to this angle. Then, as we all know, one dot will be squared. In this script it is not sort of inclined or any of that. It is simply a square. Now the two dots will be two squares next to each other, as we're going to see here. One and two. We've got also the option of having them on top of each other. One and two. The three dots also have the same rule, and the three dots could also come next to each other in this script. So this with regards to the dots. We're going to use the single unit dots for scaling. Now the second note for today's class would be general moves that we need to work with. This script has a lot of curved moves, so when we make art pieces we will find that this move is used a lot. The move consists of two curves smoothly joining in the middle. Therefore it would be nice for you to start with a straight line, put the pen here, go to the left and then come back, then put another line, start with half a point far from it and do the same move, and then try to make it a bit shorter, more of a space between this and this, between the between the vertical line and the tip of the edge. Finally you could try and make it quite horizontal. So these curves are very important to get our hands relatively used to them. You could start with making it like a straight line if you want to understand things, then start curving it smoothly. It's basically to get your hand used to this type of move, this smooth curve. We are going to start with the Alef. Now for the Alef here we are going to hold the pen with the 75 degree. It's quite sharp, and putting a line, a vertical one, we can estimate the distance to the left, the horizontal distance. Now here we've got 6 points of height for this Alef. We're going to leave half a point, and here we can see how the Alef looks like in this script. Now the main note that we need to keep an eye on here is the shape of the curvature on top of the Alef and down here. We will find that the curve here is sharper than this one. You can see the difference in the tip here and the tip down below here. You will find that the gradual change in thickness in the lower part is smoother than the upper part. This consists of, this one is a bit sudden in change of curvature. Practice this. Now the height does start from 6 points. It could be less, it could be more, depending on the tarakib. For example, if you had a very long one, it would look something like this. What you need to keep an eye on is the change of curve, where it happens. So it happens almost in the upper 2/3. When we connect an Alef, we have several cases depending on the letter. So sometimes we get a connection that comes down like this and it stops. Now when we connect the Alef to this one, we go back with the cuts like this, then we go up the same curvature we just made, as we can see here. So we've stopped down and then we went back up with this curve. It's quite useful if you want to practice this move in addition to the one that we've practiced at the beginning. This is the first connected Alef. The second one would be if we had a letter that stopped down here and we want to go up immediately with an Alef. For this one, we simply go back this way, we go up, becomes a bit thin, then we go back to the left. So we can see the difference between the two curves, this one and this one. They are opposite to each other. Now up here we could add a decoration or we could leave it as it is. So these are the two options for the connected Alef, number 1 and number 2. Now with regards to this one, you can see that it is inclined to the left with a nice area down below here. Moving on, we are going to talk about the bat. The bat in this letter has 3 main shapes when it's by itself. The height of the sin, the tooth for the bat, is 2 points. And the tip of it is just like a small Alef, as we can see here. It's very important to get your hand used to this move. Then we are going to add 1 point below this thing, and this is where the cup for the bat or the body will rotate, go down, then rotate upward. The width of the bat is 5 points. 5. So starting from here, we go down, touch the line, then rotate. The rotation should look like a circle, and we stop here. Although we stop here, we make sure that the curve is wide enough to contain 3 of the dots. This way you know that you've got the right shape of the curve. The second bat will be like the Diwani bat. It will become higher, it will basically rests on this one. Now for this one, the pen would be almost vertical. We go up slightly with a sharp edge, then we go down, then we rotate the same move like this one. Again, with regards to the rotation, you could finish it here, but again it's 3 points of width. The last shape of the bat is a shallower one. Now this one starts half a point above the line, not 1 point, half a point. And the angle we are going to hold the pen with is vertical. So what we're going to do is to go up this scale, then down, then rotate all the way around. And this is quite similar to ones in Thuluth, where you have this shape. In the Thuluth we have this bat. This script did the inventor of this script took lovely shapes from all scripts, and he was very successful into joining them together. So you will see shapes from all scripts. Now, when we connect the bat, we are going to start with the combination of connections where you have to memorize. So the first move is what we did before, this one. If there was a letter connected after it, if we have 3 letters, we take the next one and put it really high, just like an Alef. The Alef move that we used up there, we use it down here. As we can see, there's a difference in height. Then the one after it will come low. It will come low in this shape, as we can see. So the first one looks like this. if there were three, I mean, the first one would look like this, the second one would go all the way up to here, and the third one would be sharp. Then you could connect it with whatever after it. Let's continue. We could add a elongated one down here. We stop up here. Then we connect another one to it, and then we go back. Finally, we could add an Alef if we want to. So, the general idea about this is the following. If we had three nabarat next to each other, we have to raise up the middle one. If we had two, we could use whatever shape, but we can't use the high one all the time with regards to two. So the moves that you need to memorize is one. You would also need this small move. So this is, for example, if it was just two letters and then they connect to something. So for example, Bath. This is a simple connection between two nabarat. So you've got this move known and this move known. This move we used here and here. Now, we've got the connected thing, which is this one, the one that went all the way up, and the idea how to connect after it. So whenever we go up, we don't go back here and connect. This is wrong. We go up and we come back to smoothly break from the previous letter. And this is what we call it in case if we had a lot of letters next to each other. There's also the connection to a ha or a meme or a ya. That one is easy. It's basically going back like this. What we do is just go back. We will talk about it in more details if we talked about the qantara, let's say. Now for this letter, you could practice some words. So if we were to write ab, father, this would be the Alef, and you are free to choose whatever ba you want to choose from the previous ones. So this would be ab. You could write bab. With regards to bab, let's try this shape. So this is a connected ba, then this Alef, for example, and let's use the this ba, for example. With regards to this, lots of nabarat, we could write baytuna, ba, ya, ta, noon, alif. So we are going to raise the same thing we did there, ba, ya, ta, and here we could raise this one too, and I'm going to use this Alef. So here we have baytuna. And there you go. These are some nice practice words you could start with. Today's lesson was a quick one. We started with the Wissam scripts. We talked about the dots that we are going to use for this script, the general move that we are going to practice with. Now be careful here, you've got the move from up to down. There's another one from down to up. You got the ba, 1, 2, which is curvature. It's all about curves in this script, and sharp beginnings and ends. Then we started with the Alef. The points to take is these heights, but again we could use long ones. The connected one, how it looks like when it's connected. Then we moved on to the ba, 3 shapes when it's singular. When it connects, we have several cases, and with time we are going to talk more about the shapes. When we write more letters, things will come up in the future. Finally, we had some practice. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share and subscribe, and this script will be fun to learn, so stay tuned and See you in the next one. This has been Ammar Awadi, and have a lovely day. Goodbye.